The Philippine justice system is founded on the principle of innocent until proven guilty. This means individuals accused of crimes should not be punished before their guilt is established in a court of law. However, holding every accused person in custody until their trial could create significant hardships and undermine the very essence of this principle. This is where the concept of bail comes into play. Bail is a fundamental component of the Philippine justice system. It is a process that allows a person accused of a crime to be released from custody pending trial. This release is not unconditional. It comes with the expectation that the accused will appear in court for all scheduled hearings and proceedings. In essence, bail serves as a guarantee that the accused will return to face the charges against them. The concept of bail is rooted in the belief that individuals should not be deprived of their liberty unnecessarily. It recognizes that detention before trial can have severe consequences for individuals and their families. Loss of employment, disruption of family life, and damage to reputation are just a few of the potential hardships. Bail aims to mitigate these hardships while ensuring the integrity of the judicial process. By providing a mechanism for pre-trial release, bail upholds the presumption of innocence. It allows individuals to prepare for their defense while living as normally as possible under the circumstances. This balance between individual liberty and the need for justice is at the heart of the bail system. The primary condition of bail in the Philippine criminal justice system is the accused person's promise to appear in court for all scheduled hearings. This promise, known as a recognizance, is a solemn vow to the court. It signifies the accused's understanding of the charges against them and their willingness to participate in the legal process. Beyond the fundamental promise to appear, Philippine courts often impose additional conditions on bail release. These conditions vary depending on the specific circumstances of the case and the perceived risk of flight or danger posed by the accused. Common conditions include travel restrictions, prohibiting contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and surrendering passports. Courts may also impose conditions aimed at mitigating potential risks to the community. For instance, individuals accused of drug-related offences may be required to submit to regular drug testing. Those accused of violent crimes might be subject to curfews or electronic monitoring to ensure public safety. The conditions attached to bail are not meant to be punitive. They are safeguards designed to ensure the accused's appearance in court while minimizing risks to the community. These conditions strike a balance between the accused's right to liberty and the need to protect the integrity of the judicial process and public safety. The decision to grant bail in the Philippine criminal justice system is based on a degree of trust. The court places its trust in the accused to honor their promise to appear. When that trust is broken, there are consequences. If the accused fails to appear in court as required, the court will issue a bench warrant for their arrest. A bench warrant authorizes law enforcement to take the accused into custody. It means the accused forfeits any presumption of innocence and becomes a fugitive from justice. The consequences of failing to appear in court are serious. Beyond the immediate consequence of arrest, the accused also faces the forfeiture of any bail money or property posted as collateral. This financial penalty serves as a deterrent against flight and underscores the seriousness of honoring the court's trust. Moreover, failing to appear in court can result in additional criminal charges. The failure to appear in court undermines the entire judicial process. It delays justice for victims, wastes valuable court resources, and erodes public confidence in the legal system. The consequences of non-appearance are designed to emphasize the importance of honoring the court's trust and fulfilling the obligations of bail. There are several types of bail in the Philippines, each with its own set of requirements and implications. The most common form is cash bail. This requires the accused or someone acting on their behalf to deposit the full bail amount with the court. If the accused appears at all court proceedings, the money is returned, minus any court fees. Another common form is a surety bond. In this scenario, a bail bondsman or a bail bond agent pledges to pay the full bail amount if the defendant does not appear in court. The bondsman typically charges a non-refundable fee, usually a percentage of the total bail amount. Property bonds are an option when the bail amount is substantial. In these cases, Real estate or other valuable property can be pledged as collateral. If the accused fails to appear, the court can seize the property to cover the bail amount. This option requires careful consideration as it puts personal assets at risk. Finally, personal recognizance or release on one's own recognizance is a form of bail that does not require any money or property as collateral. It is typically granted to defendants considered low-flight risks and who are accused of less serious offences. This type of release relies heavily on the court's trust in the defendant's promise to appear. Each form of bail has its own advantages and disadvantages. The choice of which type of bail to pursue often depends on the financial resources of the accused, the nature of the charges, and the perceived risk of flight. Section 5. Bail as a right, when freedom is guaranteed. The Philippine Constitution ensures that all persons shall have the right to bail, except those charged with offences punishable by reclusion perpetua when evidence of guilt is strong. This constitutional protection underscores the importance of bail in the Philippine legal system. However, the Constitution does not guarantee a right to bail in every case. In many jurisdictions, there are specific situations where bail is a matter of right. These typically involve less serious offences, such as misdemeanors or non-violent felonies, where the accused has strong ties to the community and is considered a low-flight risk. In these instances, the court is generally obligated to grant bail. The rationale behind this is to prevent the unnecessary detention of individuals accused of minor crimes. It recognizes that pre-trial detention, even for a short period, can have significant consequences for an individual's life. However, even when bail is a matter of right, judges retain the discretion to impose conditions on release. These conditions, as discussed earlier, are intended to ensure the accused's appearance in court and protect public safety. Section 6. Judicial discretion in bail, weighing factors for release. While bail is often a right, there are situations where it becomes a matter of judicial discretion. This means the judge has the authority to decide whether to grant bail, and if so, to set the conditions of release. This discretion is particularly relevant in cases involving serious felonies, such as violent crimes or drug trafficking offences. When determining whether to grant bail, judges in the Philippine criminal justice system consider a wide range of factors. The nature and circumstances of the alleged offence are paramount. The severity of the crime, the potential for a lengthy prison sentence, and the strength of the prosecution's case are all taken into account. The judge also considers the accused's criminal history. Prior convictions, especially for similar offences, can weigh against bail. Conversely, a clean record or a history of appearing in court as required can favour release. Furthermore, the judge assesses the accused's ties to the community. Stable employment, family connections, and long-term residency can indicate a lower flight risk. Conversely, a lack of such ties might raise concerns about the accused's likelihood of fleeing. Section 7. Property bonds, using assets to guarantee appearance in the Philippines. Property bonds provide an alternative to cash bail, especially when the required amount is significant. Instead of depositing cash, the accused or someone acting on their behalf can pledge real estate or other valuable property as collateral. This collateral acts as a guarantee that the accused will appear in court as required. The process of posting a property bond typically begins with an assessment of the property's value. This assessment is usually conducted by a qualified appraiser. The court needs to ensure that the equity in the property is sufficient to cover the full bail amount. Once the property's value is established, the owner must sign legal documents pledging the property as collateral. These documents give the court the legal authority to seize and sell the property if the accused fails to appear in court. Posting a property bond can be a viable option for individuals who cannot afford to pay the full bail amount in cash. However, it is crucial for property owners to understand the risks involved. If the accused fails to appear, they risk losing their property. Section 8. The role of the bondsman, a guarantor of freedom. Bail bondsmen play a unique and often debated role in the Philippine criminal justice system. They act as guarantors for defendants who cannot afford to post bail themselves. For a non-refundable fee, typically a percentage of the total bail amount, a bondsman agrees to pay the full bail amount to the court if the defendant fails to appear. When a defendant seeks the services of a bondsman, the bondsman typically requires some form of collateral. This collateral can include cash, property, or the signatures of individuals who agree to be financially responsible for the defendant's bail. Once the bondsman posts bail on behalf of the defendant is released from custody. However, the bondsman becomes financially liable for ensuring the defendant's appearance in court. If the defendant fails to appear, the bondsman is obligated to pay the full bail amount to the court. To mitigate this risk, bondsmen often employ bounty hunters to locate and apprehend defendants who skip bail. Section 9. Bail forfeiture. Consequences of broken promises. Bail forfeiture is a serious consequence that occurs when a defendant violates the conditions of their release in the Philippine criminal justice system. The most common violation is failing to appear in court as required. This triggers a process where the court seeks to collect the full bail amount from the defendant or the party who posted the bond. When a defendant skips bail, the court typically issues a bench warrant for their arrest. The court also notifies the party who posted the bond, whether it's a bondsman or an individual who pledged property as collateral. This notification initiates a grace period, during which the bondholder can attempt to locate the defendant and bring them to court. If the defendant is not located within the grace period, the court formally declares the bail forfeited. This means the full bail amount is due immediately. If the bond was posted by a bondsman, the bondsman is legally obligated to pay the full amount to the court. If the bond was secured by property, the court initiates proceedings to seize and sell the property to recover the bail amount. This process can result in significant financial hardship for the property owner, even if they were not the ones who violated the conditions of bail. Section 10. Balancing rights and justice, the delicate equilibrium of bail in the Philippines. The bail system in the Philippines, while designed to uphold the presumption of innocence, is not without its critics. Some argue that it disproportionately affects low-income defendants who often cannot afford even modest bail amounts. This can lead to a situation where individuals accused of minor offences remain incarcerated before trial simply because they lack financial resources. Conversely, critics also point to instances where individuals accused of serious crimes, who pose a potential threat to the community, are released on bail. This raises concerns about public safety and the potential for reoffending. The debate surrounding bail in the Philippines often revolves around the challenge of balancing individual rights with the need to protect the community and ensure the integrity of the judicial process. Finding the right balance is a complex task that requires careful consideration of the specific circumstances of each case. Reforms to the bail system are frequently proposed and implemented. Some jurisdictions in the Philippines have adopted risk assessment tools to help judges make more informed decisions about bail. Others have implemented alternatives to cash bail, such as supervised release programs or electronic monitoring. The goal of these reforms is to create a more just and equitable bail system in the Philippines, one that upholds the presumption of innocence while protecting the community and ensuring the fair administration of justice.